Alright guys, so we're doing No More Mr. Nice Guy by Alice Cooper, and I covered the first section pretty well in the first video, so make sure you check that out there. We're going to pick up today with the solo riffs right after the intro section, and we're going to be bending the 9th fret of the 3rd string a full step, and then we're going to release. So the way we do that is we're going to first start with the 9th fret, bend it up a whole step, and then we're going to be up at the whole step bend, and we're going to pick it and fall off of it to the 7 on the 3rd fret, a 3rd string, and then 10th fret on the 2nd string, bend it with a vibrato. That's what those little squiggly lines are above the tablature if you don't know what that is. So it's just going to be next riff, starting with that 9 again. We do 2 bends. 3rd one, we're going to bend and release. Then the 7 again, and then that 10th fret on the 2nd string again with full bend and vibrato. And then starting over again, full step bend, pre-bend release, 7, and then we're going to do the 10, but we're going to go up and release it. And then the 9th on the 3rd string, and the 7th fret, and then back up to the 9th. So slow, it's that's that little intro riff section right after the. It's a really cool part. When I'm doing my bends, I tend to use my ring finger to hold the note and my middle finger on the same string behind my ring finger to help with the bend. So we'll have 2 fingers making the bend instead of 1. Also, when you're bending across the fingerboard, you will run into these lower strings. So if you have your index finger just laying over there, just touching them, not pushing them down, it keeps them quiet so you don't hear that kind of stuff. We do have videos on bends. Make sure you check those out as well if you need some help with your bends before you try this section. We're off to the verse next. Alright guys, don't forget that you do have the looping functions and slowdown features. You can stop this video at any time, set those and go over each section, learn them at your own pace. You don't have to keep up with the pace of the video. You're in control of that. Alright, we're going to the verse section, which will be some bar chords. If you don't know how to play bar chords, I suggest that you stop the video here and go to our video on how to play bar chords to be able to do this. We'll be playing the bar chord A at the 5th fret, which will be barring all 6 strings at the 5th fret, playing the 6th fret on the middle fingers on the 3rd string, and then your ring finger and little finger holding the 4th and 5th strings down. And we're going to strum that chord once, just let it ring out. And then we do a C sharp minor. That is 1 fret down, and take the shape you were holding for the A chord and drop it 1 string towards the floor. So you're holding the 4th fret of the 1st string and the 5th string, the 5th fret of your 2nd string, and the 6th fret of your middle 2 strings, your 3rd and 4th strings at the 6th fret. That's C sharp minor. We're going to strum that and let it sustain. Then we'll go to a G major chord, which is exactly the same shape as the A chord was, but 2 frets lower at the 3rd fret, barring the 3rd fret, 5th fret of your 4th and 5th strings, and 4th fret of your 3rd string, and strum that. Then we go to B minor. The B minor chord is just like your C sharp minor chord, only this time at the 2nd fret. So we'll be holding the 2nd fret of the 1 through 5 strings, 3rd fret of the 2nd string, 4th fret of the middle 2 strings, and strum that. We're not going to let that sustain the entire measure. We're going to hit B minor, and then immediately go up to the D chord at the 5th fret, which is going to be 7th fret of the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings with the 1st section of my ring finger, and the 5th fret on the 1 through 5 strings, and that's going to be the D, 1 strike on it, move it up 2 frets for an E, and 1 strike on it. So we'll play through this section slowly, starting with the A. Repeat. Alright, you can look at the tab sheets. All of these chords, the charts are at the top of the tab sheet. Make sure you check those out. This is probably a good section to stop and loop and go over this slowly a few times until you have it. Next up is going to be the pre-chorus, which is totally different. Alright guys, now we're looking at the pre-chorus here. We're going to be using a new chord, an F sharp minor. It's barring the 9th fret of the 1st through 5th strings, holding the 10th fret with your middle finger on the 2nd string and the 11th fret on the middle 2 strings. That's called a F sharp minor. We're going to strike that 3 times total. It's going to be this kind of a rhythm. Drop down to the B minor, same shape as the F sharp, all the way down to the 2nd fret. So to play that together, it's then to the D that we just played in the previous section. E. We played both those chords at the previous section. That's the 5th and 7th frets on the D and the 7th and 9th frets on the E. Make sure you check out your chord charts for those. So we're starting with F sharp minor. Really short riff here between the 9th fret and the 11th fret on the middle 2 strings. It goes 9 to 11 on the 4th string with the hammer on, 9 on the 3rd string, then 11th fret on the 3rd string, and 9th fret on the 3rd again. So it's just practice that a few times, play it slowly. We're going to go right back into the same section. So to speed, it's one more time. And then back through it. Second riff is, that's 9 to 11 on the 4th string with a hammer on, 9th fret on the 3rd string, 11th fret on the 3rd string, and then the 12th fret on the 2nd string, bent full. Again, using 2 fingers for the bend. So this part slow. Next up is the chorus. All right, guys, now we're going to look at the chorus section of No More Mr. Nice Guy. We start off with the F sharp minor chord we've been using. We're going to strum that once, kind of slide off of it. You'll see that in the tablature. Now we're going to play a melody through the chord. A little bit interesting to play here. We're going to strike the 9, 10, and 11th frets on the first 3 strings. Check out your tab sheet there. Strike that once. Then the 3 9s on those same strings. 11th on the middle 2 strings, 9 on the middle 2 strings, and coming down here to the 7 on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings twice. So slowly it's... I guess that wasn't too slow. Let me slow it down a little bit. So we're going to need to practice that. You're probably going to set loop points here, slow it down, and try to get that down. It's a staple of the song, so you've got the... Again, starts off a little bit different at the end there. The way I changed that was I did the F sharp, and then I did the 9, 10, 11 on the first 3 strings, just like I did before. See the 3 9s on the first 3 strings, the 11 on the middle 2 strings, 9 on the middle 2 strings, and then you're going to go back to the 11 on the middle 2 strings, and then 9 and 10 on the 2nd and 3rd string, and 9 and 10 on the 1st and 2nd string, outlining what we would call an A shape. It looks like a D shape there, but it's actually an A in this position. So slowly this is... A lot of that I'm just barring the 9s there with my index finger so I can move through this quickly. So this whole section slowly would be... Back to the intro riff. All right, next up is going to be at the end of the second verse. They're going to play something a little bit different, so I'm going to show you how to play that next. All right, guys, so on this section, it's at the end of the second verse, guitar 2. We're going to start off with what's called an F sharp minor 7/C sharp. Big, hairy name to a chord. It's basically exactly like the F sharp minor we've been playing. You're just going to take out your little finger, and we're going to play through the 4 notes of the chord. So we're going to be playing the first 4 strings, string 4, 3, 2, and 1, like this. Then Those would be frets 11, 9, 10, 9. And then we're going to pick up your middle finger, and that changes it to a C sharp minor, same 4 strings. Drop it 2 frets back to the F sharp minor 7 shape, this time made at the 7th fret. Play through it. And pick up your middle finger and just strum the B minor. And strum the E we've been using before. So slowly, this whole piece. And again, you want to practice this slowly many times, so set your loop point, stop the video here and go over that until you have that. It's a really cool part. That is happening over the top of the first guitar, just playing the A chord, C sharp minor, the G, and the B minor part that we had covered before. It's just a second guitar covering this section. I thought it was interesting, so I wanted to show that to you. Next up is going to be 2 different guitar parts. One I did not tab, I'm just going to tell you what it is. When we're going through the A, C sharp minor, G, and B minor, it's exactly that, but they kind of rock it up a bit. They're doing 1/8 notes like this. So you already know that section, we just didn't play it with that rhythm. You just apply the 1/8 note rhythm like I just did there. This part, however, is on top of it, and it's really cool. It sounds like this. So I would opt to play that. I like that part better. It's all on the 3rd string. We're doing a full step bend at the 9th fret. Then 2nd fret of the 3rd string, and then go back up to the 9, full step bend, 1st fret, and then this time bend the 9 again, then open, and then just 4 twice on the 3rd string, and then 7, and then right back into the bend. It's a really fun part to play. I like the way that he works up and down a single string. You get the same tonality. It just sounds a little bit different doing it that way. I know this song has lots of guitar parts to it, so work on it at your own speed. You can get a lot out of this. Remember, the more that you learn how to play, the better you are. I hope they're enjoying this song as well as everything we're doing here at GuitarAnimal.com. Comments in the section below. Make sure you check this song out. This was the original key that they played the song in. Years later, they moved the key on this song, made it lower, a little bit easier to sing, but this is from the original. So if you're going to check out the song, make sure you're checking out the original version of this song. I'm Trent at GuitarAnimal.com. Hope you enjoyed all these riffs.